Good morning. So, the guidance for this video comes from my body and from an awareness that I'm really tapped into at the moment of what everybody is feeling, consciously and unconsciously, about our own personal evolution. And they come hand in hand. Apologies for my throat. When we shift, our bodies have to go through a process. That's part of the evolution. What no longer fits has to break away. And so today I want to give you my knowledge, my wisdom of what I have learned on my path about the body, about the chakra system, or some of it, what comes up. And so I'm going to start with the sacral chakra. I know for myself and for many people at the moment, it's been very active in clearing. And so each chakra governs an area of the body. Within that area of the body, that chakra is a flow of energy. And so then that flow of energy is continuously tapping into the multi-dimensional layers of who we are as a sacred vessel. So the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual bodies. And then within the spiritual body, that energy is tapping into our soul aspects, our higher self, higher selves, our multi-dimensional selves, our simultaneous lives. That energy taps into the akash, the etheric, the ether, whatever words work for you to comprehend it. That the energy that is flowing through your chakras is your energy, but at some point on its circuit around your energy field, it taps into the edge of your energy field, which is in touch with the collective, with the all, with the oneness. And so your chakras are your way to tune in and see what's happening in your body. How is it connected to outside of your body? What collective of consciousness are you tuned into most at this time? And then on another level, or a more personal level, you're able to see what's going on within your energy field, within your being, because that energy is flowing around. And if it hits a blockage, then you can develop a relationship with that energy where you can understand what it's trying to tell you. So let's start with the sacral. It's a big one. For me, it's probably one of the most profound teachers as a chakra. So take what resonates here, because some of the wisdom that I have learned, my path has been down a very esoteric route, and it's very ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom, ageless wisdom is normally how it's referred to, or occult. It's threads of Alice Bailey, Dwar-Kul, Ascended Master Dwar-Kul, Helena Blavatsky. And it's not that I've studied their books. The only book I've ever read and still not completed is Esoteric Healing, because that was what I was given to read, or guided to read, throughout my training when I was training to become a healing practitioner. So take it a step further back, it relates to the Hermetica, and it goes back to ancient Egypt, but it's just threads. Okay, and so what that's done in my life is given me what I needed to see to open up an avenue for me to explore. It's not like I am religiously, that's not a nice word to use in this sense, but reading these texts and then relaying them. It's how the path I needed to make me go, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. So some of the chakra knowledge is slightly different to a lot of bigger collectives of information about the chakras. So take what resonates, feel if it works in your body. And because it's not one or the other, it's everything and it's all. And maybe it's some of what I say might be a missing piece. Some of what you've learned elsewhere might be a missing piece of what you're looking for to take you forward on the next step. Okay, right, chakras. Let's start with the sacral. So the sacral, it physically governs our reproductive organs. So it's a creative center, yeah, physical creation. So we have our womb, or let's do the female first because I know it. We have the womb, we have a fallopian tube, so we have our ovaries, the cervix, the yoni, vagina, whatever you want to call it, whichever words resonate. That holds a lot of energy, yeah. That's a powerful energy to feel in that area. And the womb is a space, in a sense, for energy to store itself, yeah. So then, more structurally, in that area, we have our hips, pelvis, the sacrum, the coccyx, and then so the hips go down to the legs. So for me, again, this is that information I'm saying that's slightly different. The sacral is where you will ground. That's where I go to ground. Sometimes I call in the base as well, but in my world it has different roles, different jobs. So the sacral is my grounding area, because in my mind that's how it makes sense. Hips, pelvis, legs, feet, floor, earth. And it works. For me, it's very, very powerful. So then on an emotional level, the sacral governs our relationships. Yeah, you may have heard me speak about this before. Relationships with ourselves, relationships with our family, friends, you know, what relationship means when we say that word, but also our relationship with our environment, with our, I've said ourselves, our homes, with money, with everything that you have a relationship with, cacao, you know, everything you have a relationship with, some part of it is connected with the sacral. It's just an area of your being that governs relationships, okay? So it's kind of like, that's where they're held, in a sense. You have to break this down. In my mind, it's getting very complicated. I have to break it down for this information to be relayed. There is an emotional connection with relationships in your heart and in your solar plexus as well. But in a sense, for what I'm trying to relay here, it's about where we hold, yeah? In that pelvis, that bowl, in that womb, that space. It's where relationships go. So any disagreements, any what's the term for, I don't know, somebody, you put somebody before yourself, yeah? And so that kind of feeling that begins in you when you do that kind of little bit of like, oh, you shrink a little bit, that feeling will sit here in your hips, in your womb, wherever it goes to in your body, because it will be different for each of us as well. Okay, so I haven't mentioned kidneys, I haven't mentioned the bladder. For me, they're connected with the base. Okay, maybe it depends how long this video goes on. If not, I'll do it in the next one. So, and then on the mental level, it kind of crosses with the mental and the emotional for what I'm trying to explain here. So hopefully you're getting the picture. So the sacral is relationships, grounding. And so when you go through something like, let me pick one, a relationship breakdown, a partnership, a marriage, everything of that person that you have had an interaction with them where you weren't authentically yourself, yeah, you put them before you, or you had a disagreement that you didn't speak your truth and you held on to it, and So all of those little blockages of energy, that's what they are. Every time you have this flow of energy moving through you all the time, and all it wants is to keep moving and keep healthy and keep expanding and circulating and doing its thing. And then every time the other part of you that is protective comes in and says, oh, no, shouldn't, no, I can't deal with that. Oh, it's just putting these blocks. So this energy just, it's harder for it to get through. Yeah. And so it creates this sensation in our body, symptoms, dis-ease, disease, for us to listen to. That's what it's doing. It's sending us messages for us to listen to. That's how clever this physical vessel, this sacred, energetic, biological, mechanical vessel that we are, is. Obviously, the more those signals, symptoms, messages are ignored, then the bigger that message is going to shout. And the only way it knows how to do that in its way that it's designed to do is to create something that will grab your attention. Pain, hurt, discomfort. Yeah? And so then you're in this place of not knowing, in a sense, when we don't come in with this information, do we? We're not told this information. You're not brought up and put through school learning, oh, you haven't got a cold that you've caught off everybody else in the class. That's just something's going on in your life that you need to address. It's not a cold. The cold, it is a cold in a sense, but it's not something that's contagious and it's a virus and it's come into your body. It's your body saying, I'm weak because I'm not flowing properly. Help me. Help yourself. Yeah? And so you've got all of those going on. And so your energy just, it's stagnant in a sense. Yeah? That's like, especially when we're connecting it with emotions, you can connect it with water. And I don't mean you're stagnant. I'm not saying that. Wipe those words out, actually. But connecting it with water. If water was to just sit still, it turns stagnant, doesn't it? When it hasn't got anywhere to go. Yeah. The sun or the creatures or the algae takes the oxygen out of the water, so it kind of diminishes. It needs to be flowing, and the same with our energy. So those blocks come, and it's our job to keep our energy flowing and healthy and vibrant and full of life force. And so we have to learn how to unblock those blockages. And that's the shadow work. It's the unlearning. It's the unlearning of everything that we've been taught about. Oh, it's a cold. No, you've caught a cold if you want to see it that way, but you've caught a cold because your body is going through something. Here we go. Let's talk about my throat that you can hear. Yeah. So the throat is the other creation center. It's loosely the mental creation center. It's the higher creation center. For me, it's the middle creation center, because we have chakras. There's like a triangle in the head with the pineal, the pituitary, and the carotid gland, which is connected to the altar major. They create this triangle, and that for me is the higher creation center, and it filters through to the throat in its own magical way, along with all this other filtering that's going on in your energy field. So back to the point, Gemma. Sacral, physical creation center. Emotional, in a sense. Throat. Let's go with mental creation center for this, because it's about our ideas, and then once we've created those ideas, this is where we express it. Yeah, like even like if I was to put my arms out straight, they're kind of in line with my throat. Your arms, your hands, they're connected to your throat center, your creation center. Yeah, this is why we're expressive in this way. So your sacral, it will clear when you're in alignment, or even when you're not, when you just start noticing these sensations, all you need to do is not fear your body, not fear it. You need to go into it. You need to find a space and allow yourself to breathe into that space in your body where you're feeling the discomfort. And obviously this isn't just going to happen the first time you do it. You may need assistance with this, especially if you've been holding these things in your body for a long time. Yeah. But the moment you make that connection with your body, you are saying to yourself, I am ready to know what you are trying to say to me. I am ready to begin releasing this. It's not just going to open the door and everything's going to flood out. Sometimes it feels like that, because once you have let your body know that, there's kind of like a healing crisis, I think it gets called sometimes, where once you've brought something in to help remove these blockages, your body goes into a bit of a crisis, in a sense that it's like, oh my God, I can go back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And instead of just staying in this kind of survival mode that it's been staying in, living with these blockages of energy with nobody listening to its messages. Yeah. So the sacral will clear through with a woman. Your moon time, you're bleeding. Yeah. When you connect with your cycle in that way, and you don't let all of that distortion and that bad, no, take that word away, the learning that is put on our cycles, on blood, on bleeding, when you unlearn that negativity, that misunderstanding, let's call it misunderstanding, and you relearn from your body the beauty of your cycle and its purpose, it's the nourishment for growing a child, for physical creation. Yeah. Did you know, I learned this recently, that your heart sends down the purest blood in the body. It has like a channel. This is through Chinese medicine, and I'm only repeating what I read because it was amazing. There's a channel from your heart to your womb that sends down the purest blood in the body, the purest blood that the body can produce to your womb space every month. So it's fertile if your egg is ready to embed and grow life. Yeah. Why are we making this something negative? Or why has the world been doing that? It's misunderstanding, isn't it? So the sacral will clear through your moon time. If you have really heavy cycles as a woman, maybe it's your body telling you there's so much in your body that you shouldn't be holding. It's a way your body purges once a month. Yeah. Other ways, so the pain, any discomfort or pain in your hips, pelvis, that's your body saying, look, I'm supposed to be able to move like this is my job, I'm some hips and I'm supposed to walk all day, but I can't because there's something here. So feel, is it muscular, is it skeletal? You know, sometimes you need the assistance of chiropractors, healers. Who else do I go to? I go to a chiropractor, and he does this magical voodoo kinesiology chiropractic combo, and it's amazing. Then I go to a craniosacral lady, because sometimes, even in a role of knowing forms of holistic medicine, you can't do it on yourself. You know too much sometimes. And for me anyway, sometimes it's you can't be in that place of giver and receiver for what your body needs sometimes. So I go to these people and I give my body what it needs when I'm listening to those messages. But so you can do that, you can go to others, but you can also tune in and just listen. What do you need? Oh, every time I eat potatoes, I feel really after, or every time I've stopped having a certain food and I feel really funny. Maybe listen to your body, and maybe that's your body telling you that food needs to be taken out of your diet for a little while, and surprisingly that will help something that's going on in your sacral. Right? But you also have to address the issues, and they will arise. I'm not disregarding the fact that we have to do the work on what the emotions are, the root cause. Yeah, maybe this is becoming a long video, but maybe I'll talk about that. The root cause is so important, but to help you along the way, and also where we are in the frequencies, we are tapped into so much more of ourselves that some of this clearing and the emotional stuff, the root causes, is kind of magically doing its own thing. Our soul is taking that job on. There will be things that will have to come through the physical and the emotional body, and you will have to work with them. That will happen. But some of it, like past life stuff, let me just feel this for a second. Yeah, so yeah, what happened for me, I was going through this mad spell of past life memories, dreams, visions, stories, just like, whoa. And then all of a sudden it stopped, and I was like, oh, where have my gifts gone? But then what I realized is that my soul had shown me that process and had kind of said, okay, I'll carry on doing all of that, but if there's anything you need to know, I'll drop it in. That kind of thing. So it will be going on, but if anything is not shifting, what do you need to look at? Go to your childhood, go to the most hurtful places. Let me give you some key pointers as well. You may already know this, but left side of your body is feminine, right side of your body is masculine. When you are doing any kind of healing or trying to figure stuff out for yourself, if it's on the left side of your body, then look to the female relationships in your life, or look to the feminine qualities, feminine energy qualities. Yeah. And then if it's on the right side of your body, look to the male relationships in your life, or look to the masculine energy qualities. Okay, so the throat, that's what I was getting to, the throat. So creation center. Imagine a line at your diaphragm, yeah? Lower chakras, higher chakras, loosely, just for the purpose of this. They're connected, okay? They're connected through that creation that they have in common, and through some other things. But what happens is, if the sacral is doing its own clearing, I've been doing a lot of grounding, I've been doing a lot of working and listening to my body and allowing what needs to clear in that area in its own way, but some of it is needed to come up here. That's what my body has shown me. Some of it is needing to be felt and tuned into in this way. And so what you can add to that is, so what would the throat and my voice, you know, not speaking up, not being heard, thinking I wasn't heard as a child, not, my feelings weren't being listened to, relationships in my body. What side is it? See, this is what I do. So just to give you an indication of what you can learn through just sitting with your body. Yeah, it's more right side. It's right in the back of my sacroiliac joint on my right side. And now to give you an indication, so sacroiliac, so that's the back of your pelvis meeting your spine, yeah, and there's this joint, and so there's this an energy center right there, and that's the one for me that keeps getting a little bit blocked. Usually what happens in my body is the right overcompensates for the left, but it's due to, let me feel, yeah, so this is kind of what's happening in this sense. It's a masculine quality, a masculine energy rather than a male in my life. And so that's to do with, okay, I'm hearing burden, responsibility, holding, and I'm hearing it's just like so it's just letting me know, you see. So how can I express that? So it's not something that can just be grounded. It needs to come out. It needs to come out. So it's something that I need to process in a way that I voice it. Yeah. So there you go. I'm not going to go into doing my own healing on this video, but just to give you an idea of the things that you can do. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this has helped. Let me know, have you been listening to your body? Have you been questioning? Are you trying to figure out the sensations in your body? Are you looking to become more self-dependent in your empowerment and your healing? Yeah, those kind of things, because this is what's becoming apparent through this clearing for me, and this is the perk side of it. What you clear is to make way for the unlocking of what's been lying dormant. Yeah, so what's been coming through for me with what I need to release is learning to use my voice to relay the information that I want to relay, that I've, you know, it's been floating around in my energy field for so long, and I've just been figuring out, or trying to figure out, and trying to become the right person in a sense to relay it. And it's about tools, it's about what wisdom I've gained and how I can relay it in a way where you don't need to necessarily always come for a healing session. I can give you tips like this to help yourself. Yeah, so here we go. This is the wrap up of what I've been explaining in this video. The clearing is making way, shedding the old, what you don't need, to allow in the new. And so yeah, for me, what I've gained from this video is that. And so these are the tools I hope you're receiving, and I hope this makes sense. So just let me know if it resonates. Yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll do another chakra in the next video. Okay, enjoy the beautiful sun if you're in the UK or anywhere else, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.